Shh, the song's starting.
The Little Podcast by Stephen and Jess. Stories by Fly in the Nest. The Little Podcast by Stephen and Jess's Stories.
Hi everybody and welcome to episode 5 of Stories from Fly in the Nest. I am one of your hosts, Stephen Parry Valentine, next to my beautiful wife,
Wow,
Jessica.
Parry Valentine. We're using the whole names today. And to my left is
Just Cleo Parry.
Parry.
It's Cleo Parry Valentine.
No, you weren't part of this tribe. You're in your own separate little string
damn.
of life. But
Also, can you believe that we are already up to episode 5?
I know. And if we think about it, because we do it every second week, that's 10 weeks. That's almost, I'm bad at
Maths.
That's a few months we've been doing it for.
That's crazy. We're actually stuck with it.
Yeah,
I can't believe it.
I enjoy it. I love it.
Yeah,
Me
it's
too.
really
I love
cool.
it.
It's good sitting down with
It's
you
like
guys.
forces us all to come down,
Yeah.
sit down,
And talk.
hear about our week, yes,
Yeah,
and talk silly stories.
Silly stories, yeah. It's meant to be a travel podcast. We're trying to work our way towards that, but I don't know. You guys seem to enjoy when we just talk stories from our past, really. But this one, what's this topic today?
Oh, this
Jessica?
one's a good one. But before we dive into that, we need to hear about what we've been doing this week.
Before we even dive into that, because I always forget it, let's just jump straight into Bundaberg time, because then we can listen, have a sip while Clea tells us stories that she's already forgotten about.
What's the flavour of the week?
We have gone, if you're just joining us, I think Bundaberg has 22 flavours, so we have 22 episodes to get through. So we've gone for a blood orange here.
Blood orange. I know. And
Have you tried this
I
one?
haven't tried this one. This is going to be new.
Because
yeah.
you've done the lemon lime bitters.
Yeah,
you've
that
done
was
the ginger
new.
beer.
Now this.
But it's weird how it's called blood orange, but it's pink.
Yeah.
Look at that colour.
And
If
it's
you're
got a
watching,
little orange at the bottom.
Oh, maybe we need to give it a bit of a shake.
Oh, okay.
there you go.
Yes, they did teach us at the Bundaberg Barrel. You need to give it a bit of a shake.
That is true because we went to Bundaberg. It's over in Queensland, and yeah, they have the Bundaberg barrel there, and you can try all the flavors. So Steve and I have actually tried every single
Yeah,
flavor.
I remember that vlog.
Yeah, it was really fun. Do you know, fun little tidbit on that. So where were we? We were in the mountains, the Glasshouse Mountains in Queensland.
Yeah.
And I literally went to Jess, we need to go to Bundaberg.
Yeah.
And do you know how much we had to drive out of the way to go to Bundaberg?
I think it was like 20 hours. 20 hours.
Okay.
Get me it. I just remember you did an epic montage.
Yes, we did.
20
but
hours.
20 hours. Okay, now you're going to make it sound not so crazy, but we drove Cleo.
2 hours.
It was 3 hours, and
Okay.
I was
only 3 hours. That's okay.
and I was almost 30 weeks pregnant at the time.
Oh, wow.
And he made me drive all the way.
It was so worth it though.
All right, let's pop these bad boys open.
And you guys need to let us know what you drink when you listen to the podcast.
Ready?
All right. Oh, there we go.
That's
All
so
right.
hard. I struggle.
All right, cheers, everyone.
Cheers, everyone.
Cheers.
Oh, that was a good clang.
Ooh.
Always the awkwardest part of the podcast.
Oh, that's nice. I like that.
It is orangey, hey?
It is
Yeah.
orangey. It's not the strongest flavour.
Oh,
Yeah,
it's
it's not
it's
that
yummy.
strong. Yeah.
It doesn't taste as sweet as the other ones. 'Cause
Yes.
that's one thing about Bundaberg. It is
Yeah. Full of
very
sugar.
I'm pretty sure in a Bundaberg ginger beer there is like 11 teaspoons of sugar or something crazy.
Yes, it is. It's probably bad that we drink so much Bundaberg and encourage you guys to drink it, because I'm pretty sure like some kids have done, you know, when they do the little science project and they show how much sugar is. Have you seen that before?
No, I haven't.
So they hold up like a Coke can and
Yeah.
they'll put into little plastic bags how much sugar it
Oh,
is. I'll show you a
okay,
photo
yeah.
later and I'll pop one up. And Bundaberg is like up there with Mountain Dew.
It's like one of the worst soft drinks to have.
Oh my
So
gosh,
sorry for
this is
anyone
why
that
we
we've got
have-
hooked.
Cheers, everybody.
Fortnightly.
So, Claire, what is your story? What have you been up to this week?
Okay, so these guys went swimming with the seals the other day, so I had to copy and go swim with the seals too. No, but it was amazing. They like come straight up to you and they kiss you. I loved it. It was really cute.
And it's cool because they're wild. So they're wild seals, but people have been going out there, I guess, for so long now
Yeah.
that they're kind of used to humans. So they don't bite. So if you're in the wild and you do see seals, don't just jump in with them because they can be territorial and can bite.
When breeding season is, which is next summer. That's all that he told me. But I'm not too sure when after that. But yeah,
he said you can't swim with them then?
you can't swim with them, and that's when they bite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So these
Yeah.
are like kind of like special seals because they're used to the humans, but I can see why they call them dogs of the sea.
Yeah.
Do you reckon they're just like little
so
puppies?
Cute. They're little puppy dogs.
Do they play around? and
Yeah,
swim
they play,
around?
and
Yeah.
if you're boring, they go away and they go find someone else who's
So
interesting.
they didn't swim
No, they
with
loved
you?
me. I was jumping
okay,
in, and I was
alright.
like, "Yeah, come play with me." And then they're like, "No."
And there's another first you did this week, right?
Oh, escape room. So they went to escape room. I went to an escape room.
We've been telling Cleo for ages to finally go to an escape room.
Yeah.
If you haven't heard of it, it's basically, the way I say it, it's like a real life board game. So
Yeah.
they lock you in a room and there's all these clues in the room and you kind of have an hour until you can get out. Is that how you explain it?
And Beck and Paul, our friends over in Canada at the moment, they introduced it to us, and they are so much fun.
Mm.
I mean, we just did one as well this week, didn't we? This was
Yes, we
exciting
actually
for
went
us.
on our first ever kind of date away from Hunter. So Cleo and Stephen's parents looked after baby Hunter, and we went with our friends to go an escape room, and we escaped with 20 minutes to spare.
yes.
It was a little bit too easy for
It
us.
was a little bit
20
too
minutes.
easy.
Yeah, it was
12
too easy.
minutes.
It was like a little bit like it was good. It just got towards the end, and then once we got out, it felt like it needed that extra room. So we were like a little bit let down, but it was still fun.
We just have to go do another one.
But you guys are like really good at board games, so you just like.
So we're extra
Yeah,
good at
you're
escape
extra
rooms.
good.
Yeah.
I was a bit nervous because I'm not really good at it, and I was like, I'm going to lose, and then I'm going to.
Oh yeah, how did you go with solving the clues?
It was good.
Yeah.
It was 3-star though. I started easy, and then I had 12 minutes left.
So now you need to do a harder one next
We
time.
should all do an escape room.
Yes, well, I found out that close by they have an escape room and it's Christmas themed.
Oh,
Yes.
Whose
the
birthday's
Grinch.
coming up?
Oh, Cleo! Want to do a Christmas escape room for your birthday?
Yes.
You would prefer to do the horror escape room.
Yes, I
think
would,
Jess
but-
has been like
Yeah.
sprinkling some Christmas cheer in there.
I am not doing a horror escape room.
No, I'm with you. I wouldn't do it as well. But also this week, it's been a massive week for us. Like, so many things have happened. And of course, you would have seen a lot of these things. But the big kind of announcement is that Western Australia, if you guys didn't know, we have kind of been locked off from the rest of Australia. So we legally couldn't leave. Well, we could leave our state, but they just wouldn't let us back in. And that's been like that since
Is
March,
it since March?
which is crazy. So, Jess...
Yeah,
Exciting.
so it meant that none of my family have been able to meet our baby Hunter. And at the moment, she's almost 6 months old. And the borders opened on Monday. And I'm going to get emotional.
Oh, Jess, it's okay.
I always get emotional when I talk about it.
Oh, Jess.
So on Monday, the borders opened. And so then straight away we booked our flights. And on Sunday, so in 2 days, we're going to be flying to Queensland and they're all going to be
I know, it's going to be so exciting.
I can't wait.
I can't wait for that vlog. That's going to be
know.
amazing.
Oh, it's going to be so emotional because, like, of course, there's so many, like, things going on in the world with COVID, but just having, like, our newborn Hunter and Jess's parents not being able to meet her. It's been,
Yeah, like my whole family. I think as well because it's the first grandchild.
yeah.
So it's
Aw.
like extra special. And I think it's just getting so close now. I just
Yeah.
can imagine them finally getting to meet her. And
It's
I'm
going to
just
be
so excited.
fun. Your parents are so excited. I've seen your dad's updates and you on Skype with your parents. And
Yeah.
so we're recording this on Friday night and we fly out on Sunday. So by the time you guys see this,
They would have met
they
them.
would have met them,
I
which
can't
is so
wait.
cool. Yeah.
What we're going to do is we're going to fly in on Sunday and we're getting quite late. And so then I thought, oh, instead of the meeting Hunter, like when she's really tired, I think we get in at like 11 at night. On the Monday morning, they're going to come over right when she's woken up because that's when she's like in the happiest mood, when
Yeah,
she's just
she's
eaten
best
breakfast.
mood.
Yeah, she's like really fun in the mornings and then they're going to come over and all meet her. And I just can't wait. And then we're going
It's
to
gonna
spend
be so good.
2 weeks in Queensland. So we've booked 3 different Airbnbs and we're going to treat it like a big holiday as well. Because, yeah, Queensland doesn't have any community spread
Transmission,
of
yeah.
COVID, by the way. So that's why it's safe for us to fly there at the moment. But I can't wait. And I think I keep getting emotional the closer we get. Like today I
Yeah.
started packing and I was like, oh, I just keep picturing in my head like they're finally get to hold her.
Yeah.
I'm just excited.
It's going to be so fun.
Yeah.
And yeah, I can't wait for them to meet her because, of course, I've been
And I can't wait to see them as well. I haven't seen my family since January. The last time I saw them, actually, we did the gender reveal to find out it was a girl. And then that's when we told them her name and everything. And so it's going to be nice to see my whole family, except my brother Drew. He lives in Melbourne and they're still in lockdown. So he's still not going to be able to... We're not in lockdown. They're just states locked off from WA. So
Yeah.
he won't be able to meet yet, but
But
they've
they're
been
doing
having-
really good. So I think our rules that our Premier said is no community transmission for 28 days, and then you can come in.
So I'm hoping, because Victoria's been going really well at the moment. So
Yeah.
fingers crossed that Drew can meet her in like the next month or two.
yeah, which is so exciting. And speaking of Hunter, she's just kind of tried some food this week, hasn't she?
Yes, so we gave Hunter food for the first time, and I feel like if there's any like new parents out there, you know how exciting it is when you get to see your baby try food, and she loves it. Like if you've been watching the vlogs, you know how much she's been wanting to try food.
Yeah.
We've just been waiting because they say that they really shouldn't eat until they can like sit up by themselves, and now she can. We've given her avocado, banana, strawberries. She loves broccoli.
Broccoli, she loves. She takes
gonna
it.
be
she
healthy.
Yeah, get into the veggies.
I think broccoli's her favourite so
Yeah.
far. Today we tried to give her pumpkin, but then Cleo came over and distracted her. So she was like, I don't care about food anymore. Cleo's here.
Yeah, she got all excited.
And it's really cute watching her eat watermelon.
Yeah.
Because it's
So
cold, so she's like-
adorable.
Like,
She's
gives her
too
like
shy
brace-
to eat in front of me, so she just stares at me, and I'm like, okay, come
have
on,
to
I
hide.
want to see it.
Yeah, it was so cute.
Well, probably because she does like she's excited to see you,
Yeah.
so she's like, "Oh, this is way more fun than food."
One of my favourite fruits is mango, and I'm saving her to try it when we get to
Ooh,
Cairns.
yeah.
They
That's a
like
good
they
one.
grow a lot of mangoes there.
Yeah, the mangoes are the best in Queensland. So I'm like, Hunter, your first ever bite of a nice juicy mango has to be in Queensland.
I kind of feel like sorry for her because she's a sweaty baby. If
Oh,
she's
yeah,
on
she's
Jess,
gonna be
they
sweaty.
heat.
So I'm a sweaty gal for some reason.
she got that from her mama.
I sweat so easily, and so is Hunter. And we're about to go to a very humid place. Like at the moment, I think it's 34 degrees and like,
Oh, wow.
90% humidity.
Yeah.
And so Hunter and I are just going to be sweating up a storm.
Luckily, we booked Airbnbs with pools, so
Yeah.
they can just chuck us straight in the
Yeah,
pool.
exactly.
Yeah, but also this week has been insanely busy for myself because the van build is finally begun. And just to give you guys like a little bit of insight, we are not the handiest of people.
We can put together IKEA furniture
Yes.
pretty well.
You're good at it, Jess.
That's the one thing we can do. It came to like, if we wanted to show how unhandy we are, we were too scared to hang a picture on the wall. So we had someone come in to nail a nail into our wall.
Really?
Yes.
Should have just got Dad to do it.
I know, we actually should have. I got too nervous.
Yeah, so
And now we've just decided we want to build a van.
if it was just IKEA furniture for the entire van, we would be good. But it's not. There's electrics.
We had to cut holes in the van, let alone put nails in the wall.
So I don't know if you guys saw the vlog where we went up to Exmouth just recently in the big caravan. So a friend of ours called Scott, he runs his own like caravan. It started off with just repairs. Now he's started building his own caravans. So he said, "Do you want to help us, please, build this caravan?" So we've like hired him to do the whole build for us. So I've been down there for the last 2 days.
Stephen can now officially say that he knows how to put flooring in a van.
Yeah.
He's officially a tradie.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah, using the... What did you use today?
I used like a sanded down some...
watch
some
out.
buttons. Yeah. So it's
So
kind
we're
of
basically using them to help guide us, and they're going to be doing anything that we can't do. So we wanted a hole in the roof to put in aircon, and so today we got one of the guys there to cut the hole, because knowing us, if we cut the hole, that's the end of the van. It's now a convertible van, no more roof. And it's cool as well because then we can use them to get advice. Like we could tell them that we want a bed this way and they can tell us how we should do that and then guide us through the build, which is awesome.
Yeah, and I suppose we've kind of put it on pause just right now because we're going to go to Cairns, but when we get back...
We'll keep on going. So
Keep on
far
going.
we've got a flooring, we've got 2 windows put in and a hole in the roof that will turn into an aircon.
So off to a great start. But yeah, that's kind of what we've been doing this week. It's been just crazy busy, but luckily we're going to tropical Queensland.
Can't
Have a bit
wait.
of a break.
Very
Holiday!
jealous. Am I,
Why'd you
coming
start
in?
a new job?
Cleo,
Quit.
you-
Okay, I quit.
I know. I was going to say you could have come.
Yeah.
It's so funny if your boss listens to the podcast. She's like, I heard your resignation.
Okay, get the email. Oh, damn, yes.
Yay, come to Queensland.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's kind of what we've been up to this week. Little bit of housekeeping. If you guys were interested, the first episode of the van build just went up just a couple of days ago when you guys watched this. So hope you enjoyed it. If you haven't checked it out, it would be amazing if you guys could go check it out. Also, we're currently running a little bit of a Black Friday sale on our shop. So if you wanted to pick up any of our presets, courses, LUTs, go check it out, having the Black Friday sale. And also, stay tuned because I might be doing a little bit of a giveaway. Details of that will be announced soon, so definitely stay tuned.
I don't
We
even
didn't
know
even
about
know about
that.
this.
Oh, I'm
about the
excited.
Do I get
Oh,
the
I
giveaway?
do know about the giveaway.
Oh.
It's a good giveaway.
It's a good
I'll give you a
giveaway.
clue.
Oh, can I, oh, yes. I want this giveaway.
Yeah, so definitely stay tuned for that. It's going to be good fun. I think it's going to be announced in the following vlog to tie in for something. But yeah, that's what we've been up to, a bit of housekeeping. But we thought for today's topic of the show, there's a lot of glamorous sides to travel, but there are also some not so glamorous sides to travel.
I just need to put out there, if you don't like talking about poo-poo, then maybe you don't want to listen to the podcast anymore.
Do you have a little sound for that?
No, we don't. I wish. No, we don't.
No. So yeah, we're going to talk about all the times we've gotten sick while traveling. And to be honest, just putting it out there with you guys, the amount of travel that we have done, the amount of street food that we've eaten, this list should be longer.
But it isn't. So we've been traveling. Well, we traveled full time for 5 years, and we only got sick 3 times.
What?
Pretty
That's
good, huh?
crazy.
Yeah.
I feel like the more you travel,
Yeah.
the more your stomach turns
stomach gets
iron,
used
and
to
you
it.
just, you just
I mean,
can eat anything.
We haven't traveled since the beginning of the year, so I wonder
Oh,
what our
no.
belly is going to be like. But I find
Can's belly.
But one of the questions, so you can actually send questions in, flyinthenest.tv/podcast. I really just wanted to quickly jump into something like this. We eat a lot of street food. Like, we love trying street food. And sometimes when we put out a video, particularly when we did street food in Egypt and India, there were a lot of comments from people saying, oh, you guys instantly would have got like deli belly, you would have got sick the next day. Surprisingly, those are the 2 countries we didn't. So, Jessica, how do we, when we go out for street food, what do we look out for to make sure we don't get sick?
Yeah, so that's another thing is when I went to India, I was already like, yep, I just know it. We're going to get sick on this trip.
Yeah.
But we didn't, and we were there for 3 weeks. And my biggest advice would be, if you want to go and try the local street food, go on a tour with a local guide, because there are so many local tours taking you around. And why would they want their customers getting sick? They don't want people to then be spreading the word, being like, oh, I went on that tour and I got so sick. So they know probably the most hygienic spots to go to and still have an authentic local experience. So when we went into Egypt, we got taken around by 2 such lovely ladies. Do you remember?
Yeah, oh, they were so nice.
Took us to so many local spots, didn't get sick at all. And in India, we went on a bunch of local street food
Yeah, we
tours
did
and
2 or
didn't get
3.
sick at all. And we got to try so much amazing food. And now we do that in every place we go to. We always sort out a local guide and then they take us around.
Yeah, we did that in Portugal, didn't we?
Yeah, we
Yeah,
did.
I
Yeah.
really enjoyed that.
I love it, especially because a lot of the times I go to a country and I'm not too sure what is a local food, or you hear of a local dish to try, but you don't know where to get the best one.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
they usually know.
Do you ever get any scared or anything when you are
I
trying the food?
100%
No?
trust the tour guide because, I mean, like Jess was saying, they run a business, and TripAdvisor, people easily jump onto TripAdvisor and say, I got sick.
Yeah.
So they take you to the places that, still authentic, still taste good, and still the local experience.
And some of them are extra unique. Like in India, we did a tour where we were on the back of a scooter driving through Delhi, and Delhi is crazy.
What? That's cool.
Yeah, and they were just taking us to local spots, and it was just Stephen and I
Yeah.
and the 2 guys. That was
That's
it.
cool.
It was so cool. And then also another time we did a really unique food tour was in Vietnam. It was when we were on our expedition. We all jumped on the back of Vespers, and a local guide would drive it so then everyone could drink.
Oh.
And they would take us to all the restaurants, and every single
cool.
restaurant, it
Yeah.
came with a meal and a drink. So by the end, everyone was
Oh,
like,
yeah, you would have been gone.
everyone was gone and full and just driving on the back of Vespers with the locals being like, woo! It was so fun.
So much fun.
And you know what's cool is at the beginning of that tour, that was the one everyone was most nervous about.
Yeah.
They were like, oh, wow, on the back of Vespers, eating the street food. And by the end, they were like, I am so glad you made us do that, because that ended up being the highlight of the trip.
Oh, that's
yeah.
nice.
They're like, oh, you
Yeah.
really pushed us out of our comfort zone.
Cool.
Yeah, it was really cool. I think the 2 things on that expeditions was the overnight train and the street food. People were nervous for because they're 2 things people generally don't do when they travel, and I'm so glad we did do that.
Yeah.
But Jessica, you said we've gotten sick 3 times.
Yes.
And I kind of heard you over talking the different sickness stories, but I want to jump into one which I think you don't remember, but I think is the funniest story so far.
Really?
So, during our second year of flying the nest, we did a lot of volunteer work. And one of the volunteers we did...
Oh my gosh. No, this is actually so embarrassing. Are we actually going to be sharing these stories?
Yes, you're getting nervous there. So we were in Cambodia.
No, this is what I'm like, do I want this on the internet?
Oh, yes, you do.
Oh, no, Steve, really?
We were in Cambodia and we were doing a volunteer project. And it was kind of a cool volunteer project. There was an old ruined temple.
Everyone's going to look at me differently after this.
Oh, everyone's looking at us differently no matter what.
Oh my gosh.
I think I've heard this story.
Hey, everybody poo-poos, okay?
Oh, Jessica.
Poo-poos. I love it.
So
Yes, we were in Cambodia and we were building a preserved temple.
Yes, so it was an old temple, couple of thousand years old, and it collapsed. So
Oh, I remember this story. This is the funniest story.
Oh my gosh.
So the project was that we needed to do enough cleanup on the project that it could get to a certain heritage status so that they could start getting funding to then build up the temple. So we were there for a couple of days, and we are talking middle of nowhere Cambodia. This is not Angkor Wat around the corner where all the tourists are. Nobody spoke English. Before we went there, we had our one tour guide who, of course, was the volunteer coordinator. There was no ATM. There was no, phone reception or anything. We are talking... There was, maybe
a great
just a
place
few
to get
streets.
sick.
And, you know what? We love getting up for sunrise. And we went up for sunrise and the volunteer coordinator said, come up for sunrise. It's going to be so beautiful seeing the sun come up.
So we
And
climbed...
I'll pass the story on to Jess.
Okay, so for the sunrise, we decided to climb up onto the top of the temple because it's the best view of the sunrise. So we're looking out. It's really quiet. The birds are chirping. It's so peaceful. And then you just hear my tummy grumble. And I just look at Stephen. I went, oh my gosh, Stephen, I think something's about to happen. And so, how do I put this? I found an area to go to the toilet because there were no toilets anywhere. And you know when you're really sick, I think it just hit me. So I found a place to go, and then I just see a line of monks
Oh, no.
coming out to the temple to go and pray for the morning. And I'm like, oh my gosh, Steve, we've got to get out of here. So we run back to where we're staying. And for the rest of the week, I was so sick. I got so dehydrated. I can't believe I forgot about this.
I can't believe you forgot about
That
that.
what did I make you go do, Steve?
Yeah, so there's no aircon.
Yeah.
We are in a traditional house that just the locals are living in. Jess was on the top floor with the fan, and Jess was so dehydrated. I was like,
and you know, sweaty Jess over here.
Yeah, you'd be dripping.
So I was like, we need to go get Jess some hydrolytes to,
To hydrate myself.
hydrate yourself.
Water wasn't cutting it at this point.
Yeah.
So this was the second last day in Cambodia, so we had no money. I think I had the equivalent of 75 cents or $1. So in the village, there's people there and they'll have a couple of shops, but it's mostly just for the locals there. So
Little vendors.
little vendors. They don't speak a word of English, and I'm going up to them.
Trying to explain.
How do you explain hydrolytes? That is a very complicated word. You can't just be like, hydrolytes, high drink, you put the little thing in there.
So he's basically...
I went to 3 different stores, and the one dude got my movement. So I went up to him, and I was like, what?
So
And-
he's...
Whoa!
So he's doing kind of
vomiting actions and then
Vomiting from the back.
back actions. And he understood you,
And he
didn't
understood. He's like, I've got the thing for you. He
Yeah.
spoke to me in Cambodian. And then I had $1, and I think it was $1.50, and I felt so bad. This guy
He
didn't
had to
have...
barter with him.
I had to barter with him because otherwise I couldn't have gotten it.
Yeah.
Thank you to the guy. I just had no money. There was no ATM there.
And it
So-
helped so much.
so
When I had it,
stressful.
I know.
Yeah.
It was so nice of you. And I'm there lying lethargically in bed.
I'm just walking to all these villages.
Pretending. But it helped. I can't believe I forgot about that story. Oh my goodness. Okay, so that's the first time we got sick overseas. It was just me this time. And then the next time was just Stephen.
So this was in South America. We went on an incredible 30-day trip through South America. And Bolivia?
Yes, it was Bolivia.
Yeah, so it was Bolivia, and yeah, we went out for some local food. I think I had nachos. I think.
Yeah,
Ooh,
you
my
had
favourite.
Yeah, and who gets nachos in
I do.
Bolivia?
I don't know.
It's very random.
I think we were just say 20 days into the trip, and we'll try local food, but I think
Yeah, you know when you've been traveling for a long time and you're like, you know what? I really want to something that I would have at home, like
and that's why,
lasagna.
that's why like McDonald's are everywhere, because
Yeah.
you're gonna get that point where you just want McDonald's, like you
Or like a bowl of nachos.
all the nachos. So then we were in a random town as well, wasn't it? But it was way more built up than in Cambodia. And
Yes.
yeah, I had nacho soup.
That's what we called it.
We called it nacho
I
soup.
told you guys. This is
So
the
glad
prettiest
we
of
ate dinner
podcasts.
before this.
It wasn't anything like crazy exciting or funny as Jess has it, but that is the second time that we got sick. It was just me in South America. I think I had for a couple of days, to be honest.
Yeah.
And yeah,
It was more just you couldn't come out with us, so we would all go out and have fun and he would just stay in his room. Luckily, I was on a group tour, so I could just leave, Stephen.
Bye, Steve.
Here's your electrolytes. Bye.
I wish you had to go get the electrolytes. I would have loved to have seen you do
No,
it.
because that's after that point, we always now travel with them. So I already had them ready for you.
we actually
So you
had a-
learn every time something like that happens.
We actually had a question from Jasmine that said, when traveling, do you carry a first aid kit with stuff like Panadol, charcoal tablets, Band-Aids, or do you just buy it from the country?
Yeah, we used to be very, we just didn't care. We were like, oh, it's fine. But then once things started happening, we were like, oh, maybe we should pack things. But it's just basic things. Like we've got, Band-Aids, electrolytes, Panadol,
Panadol.
cold flu tablets, and stuff like that.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd say sometimes we do get cold and flu quite a, like,
That's more what we would catch.
That's
That's the
more what we
flu
would
from
catch.
long flights.
Yeah,
Yeah.
from the flights.
Yeah, always
definitely.
get a bit of a cold.
yeah, but that was like kind of it wasn't, the South America one wasn't that exciting, but
It
I
was
feel
just
like-
your standard, I got sick.
yeah, which I feel like a lot of people probably do, a little bit of food, like something that just doesn't sit well with you, but a couple of days, hydrolytes out. But the next one,
time is a funny
Is
story.
this the one where you're like in Iceland, maybe? Or
oh no, we didn't get sick in Iceland.
no? Or
No.
in a,
No. So the next one
Yeah.
is Laos. And the way we got sick is funny because we were in Laos just before we got married. And Stephen and I were like, you know what? We keep eating all this bad food. We need to go on a wedding diet. Let's go order a salad in
yes.
Southeast Asia. And if you would tell any other travelers that you're about to do that, they would go, what are you doing? You are crazy. Because a lot of the times when you order a salad, especially from a random place that you don't know well, they wash the salad in the local water. And that is why you normally get sick. And the cafe we decided to have this salad was a Friends-themed cafe. Why would they
So
have a good
inviting.
salad?
I was like, we can sit down, have a salad, watch an episode of Friends. We're like, yes, we'll sign up for this.
So there are TVs all around that were playing Friends, and they had like pictures of Friends in the menu.
That's pretty cool.
And I remember we ordered a tuna salad.
We ordered a tuna salad.
And it was delicious. We ate that entire salad and we were on top of the
We
world.
felt so healthy. We're like, the wedding diet starts
so
today.
skinny.
Is that why you were so skinny when you got to the wedding?
Oh, well, yeah, about what happened
Technically-
after.
The wedding diet did start that night.
It really did. So we had the tuna salad, feeling really good about ourselves, went to bed, and the next day we had the most amazing things planned.
So we're in Van Vieng, which is like the beautiful countryside. There's a little river that goes through it. There's all these beautiful rice paddy fields, mountains. It just looks so incredible. And one of the things you do there is you go on a hot air balloon. You can go white river, maybe not white river rafting.
It's
but
like when you're in the little round tubes and you can float
Oh,
along
yeah.
the river. We had
Yes.
all this planned.
Okay.
We were going to do all these amazing things.
And we were staying at this beautiful hotel as well, right on the
Yeah.
river. Nice pool, good breakfast.
Oh, we couldn't wait to start experiencing Laos.
Yeah.
So we had our tuna salad. The next day we woke up ready for the adventures and we're lying in bed. And then I look at Stephen and I went, I don't really feel that good. And then Stephen goes, yeah, me either. And then he ran to the bathroom to do
And-
number twos. While I'm knocking on the door, needing to throw up.
So Jess
yeah.
had it out one side, I had it out the other side.
And we got so sick. So then we were like, oh my gosh, are we going to have to cancel all our tours?
Did you cancel it?
So
or you
Stephen
just-
called and cancelled because we felt
had
so
to,
sick.
yeah.
And then
Imagine being in a hot air balloon. You're like, I need to go to the toilet. I had the other end.
Yeah, it'd be all right for Jess. Maybe
Yeah.
she just go on the side.
side, it would have been fine. It's when you have the other way, it's harder.
Yeah.
So we cancelled all our fun activities. And then, but what's the worst is when you're traveling with yourself and you're both sick.
Yeah.
So you both don't have that person. You're both kind of relying on each other. So we're lying in the bed and we are getting so dehydrated.
We need those hydrolytes.
Who's going to go get it? This is where I should be in the picture.
Exactly.
Where were you, Cleo?
No, where was it?
So we needed to go and get water. So we both were like, okay, so I'm not going to make you go. Let's just both go together.
We both team efforted.
We're like, you know what? We're both going to go. We're both going to suffer.
on this adventure.
So we go outside and we realize we don't have any money. So Stephen needs to go to the ATM.
And the ATM is almost in like, you know, the British telephone boxes.
Yeah.
I think they do it so that maybe people don't get, not necessarily robbed. I don't want to say that. I think it's just for safety.
I don't know
Yeah.
why. It's an
Yeah.
ATM in a big glass box.
So imagine being so sick.
It's 34 degrees, very humid.
And I have to go into it. Because like when you're sick, you don't want to be constrained.
yeah.
You
in a
want-
little glass hot box.
Fresh air.
Exactly.
So I'm going in there like, whoops. I'm going in, I'm just like dropping everything. I'm going there, I'm sweating,
Yeah.
trying to get money out. And I think I just walked out there and gave the money to Jess because I'm like,
And just threw up all over the road.
no,
You know,
no, you went inside the store.
yeah, I went inside the store while he's throwing up outside. And you know what we looked like? We looked like annoying hungover tourists that
Yes.
had drank too much the night before and like are throwing up on the streets and just being stupid. And then do you remember, for some reason, I really wanted to get an ice cream or something? Yes. And I was like, yeah, like an icy polar and ice cream will make me feel better. So then I decided to eat that. And then that made me even more sick.
Oh my god.
We made all the wrong decisions.
I forgot about what we would have looked like because Van Vieng is a very big party town.
is
So
it?
we
Yeah,
probably
yeah.
just fit in with every...
Yeah.
We
like-
did. We looked like annoying hungover tourists. And I remember it took a couple of days to get better, but we lost so much weight. It was the
Yeah?
sickest we probably have ever... That is the sickest I've ever been.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
It was usually you can get it done through the day, but this was through the day.
You know,
through the
every
next
half
day.
an hour you're throwing up, even if
3
nothing's in your
days.
tummy.
Whoa.
And we lost so much weight, and
Yeah.
it really was good for the wedding.
That's why you were skinny. No diet there.
I always tell people, you know what? Just get food poisoning before the wedding, and it's great.
Order the tuna salad
From a friend's cafe.
If you've been to Van Vieng and you've been to the Friends Cafe, let us know.
And don't order the tuna salad, okay?
Yeah, now this one, because
That one we actually vlogged a little bit, so there is a vlog of it, as much as we could have.
Oh, okay.
yes.
I haven't watched it back, so I can't remember how much we put in there. But the final time we got sick, we actually decided to not include in the vlog, and there is a reason for it. So
Yeah.
the last time we got sick, it was in the Philippines, and it was the day that we went to go and hike to stay on the active volcano. There was like a big crater volcano, and you hike.
yeah.
So you have to hike all the way there. It takes like 5 hours or something.
Such a cool Mount Pinatabu.
Yeah, and you set up your tent and then you sleep the night in your tent, and the scenery is absolutely breathtaking.
I think I remember a drone shot that you did.
Yeah,
Yes.
Yeah, I remember
Yes.
that one. Yeah.
it was so
It's
beautiful.
like one of those top 10 experiences.
Yeah.
It was
Like, I would
amazing.
recommend anyone to go do it. And so that morning we all went out for lunch, and our tour guide, he said that the place that we normally went to was closed, so he didn't know where to go. So there was another place nearby, so we just went to check it out. So the tour guide, he'd never been there before.
Oh, yeah.
So, you know, he probably wasn't too
Oh,
sure
no.
about
Wow,
it.
wow,
Yeah.
like that should have been the first thing that.
Yeah.
And we're traveling with like 12 people.
Oh, did they all get sick?
So we all went and ate, and then we all just started hiking. And I was the first person to start feeling something. I started going to Stephen. I was like, I don't feel good as we're hiking. And I thought it might have been the heat.
Oh, okay.
And then I just started vomiting. But it was more like, you know, when you throw up and then you suddenly feel better.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh, maybe it's just like dehydration or something like that.
Yeah.
So I kept hiking, and it started happening again.
Oh.
And I'm like, oh my gosh, why am I like vomiting so much?
Yeah.
And then I'm hiking. I was like a good sport.
You were such a good sport. I
We
was
hiked
very
for like
impressed.
4 hours, and I was throwing up all the time, and I just kept going.
We couldn't turn
Crazy,
back.
yeah.
And I
It
didn't
was
want to
just
miss out, and
forward.
I didn't know what it was at the time, so I didn't want to miss out. And I'm like, oh, I'll be fine, like because every time you do it, you feel better. Then you're gonna slowly start feeling bad again,
Yeah.
and then you throw up.
That's what I do, yeah.
Yeah, it's like that. So then we get to the top, and we're still filming everything, like trying to feel good, because I was going to Stephen. Stephen's like, oh, do you want me to like film that you're sick? And then I'm like, oh, it's taking away from this amazing experience.
Yeah.
And so I was like, I actually don't want to include it in the video because
Yeah.
we had such an amazing time and it's so beautiful. And then half of the video is me being sick. So I was like, oh, don't film it. But then we're filming the sunrise. I mean, we're filming the sunset. I'm still throwing up. and then Stephen starts throwing up.
Yes.
And then another lady starts throwing up.
What?
And then the whole camp all night was throwing up.
Oh my
all
God.
And we
night.
were camping, so you're lying on the hard ground. It's not the most
the best.
we love camping,
Yeah.
but not when you're sick. So it was just
And we
would
would you
going
could-
through the tour guide's mind.
I know. No, but
Oh.
he contacted the cafe later
Yeah.
and he was like, you got everyone sick and of course he'll never go there again.
Yeah.
But imagine like you're all camping and every now and then throughout the night you're just hearing people vomit. Or like, and you know, you're feeling
Like a
sick.
little
beautiful sound
musical.
effect. You just want like that like eerie silence of being in an active volcano,
Yeah,
but instead it's
Yeah, and because as well, you know, when you're feeling so sick and you're in a tent, so they're just opening up their door, just putting their head out, throwing up, and then lying back down. It was like,
I also really
worst
felt bad.
night.
There was this lady there who was maybe 50 years old.
Oh, okay.
Never camped in her life.
Oh,
and she'd
no.
already like worked herself up to be
Scarred
like,
her.
you know, camping's meant to be this tough thing. But like, I'm going to enjoy it. I'm going to do it.
and she was
She got
so
sick.
sick.
Oh, poor
Yeah.
thing.
But because I got it first, mine went away first. So in the
Oh,
morning,
that's good.
everyone's feeling bad, and I'm like, oh, I just feel so good because it must have been like a 24-hour thing.
Yeah.
If you go back and watch that vlog,
It'll be interesting,
you would
actually,
need to
yeah.
see how much of a trooper Jess was. Because, we didn't want to say we were all sick because it, one, took away from the moment, and it was such a small mistake that had happened that we would hate for people then to have this bad connotation of the
It's not like a
Philippines.
restaurant that's a part of Volcano that people go to that we wanted to warn people from. So that's why we decided not to include it. But that would be interesting to watch the Philippines volcano video back and see if you notice if I look sick.
Yeah.
Because I was throwing up anytime the camera wasn't on.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, it's crazy.
I would also love to know if any of you out there are willing to share your embarrassing overseas poo-poo stories. Leave them in the comments below because I always find them a little bit funny. It's one of those things where, you know, in the moment, it's the worst thing ever. And then when you look back, you're like, these are some really funny stories I can tell. But I was just talking to Cleo, and Cleo said she's never had food poisoning
No,
before.
I haven't.
No
been
funny
sick.
poo-poo stories.
No funny poo-poo stories from Cleo. I'm sorry. I'm a little bit, not normal.
You're missing out, Cleo.
I know, damn, I really wish I had one.
That's kind of like the end of the topic of the show. I mean, it was kind of fun reliving that. Is that the way to say it? I mean, like you said, it's so much fun to like laugh at the stories, but at the time, you're just like
Hating
never
life.
again. But we actually had some questions. The first one is not necessarily on the topic, but it came through.
That's
and I just thought
probably
it was
good. I'm
great.
sure people are over the not so pretty stories.
So Kylie said, "We love watching you guys, but want to know, how do you bribe Cleo to come on the podcast? Or does she do it from the kindness of her heart?"
I think I do it from the kindness of my heart.
Yeah,
I do rock up at 9 p.m. and do some filming too.
Yes, you've been such a good sport. I mean, we do film this quite late at night just so that Hunter is asleep and we're not, she's down for the night, so we don't have to like keep jumping in and out. But yeah, Cleo does it so nicely.
Yeah, I think
I find it fun. Like it's
I
like
love
something
it.
new. Like
Yeah.
like when I tell people, I'm like, oh, I'm just gonna go film a podcast, and everyone was like, what? Who does that?
Yeah, I think when we thought about doing the podcast in the beginning, I was like, oh, it'd be really nice if we actually had someone else there to tell the stories too.
Yeah.
And then I thought,
react and stuff.
and I just thought Cleo would be the best person to do it, especially because she knows us so well. She knows some of the stories.
Yeah.
And you've been in a lot of like the situations with us. And who doesn't want to see Cleo every 2 weeks?
Is it Claire or is it Cleo? We're not 100%
That is actually
sure.
something we need to clear up.
Cleo, not Claire.
Like Cleopatra.
Yeah, Cleopatra McQueen.
Yes, because everyone always calls her Claire.
It's the Aussie accent, I think.
Maybe.
Cleo.
Cleo.
Peyton said, did you ever have to go to the hospital while traveling?
But tap on wood,
yeah.
I've never had to go to
Oh,
hospital.
really?
Never.
One time we went to, but not for sickness, we were volunteering with orangutans and we needed to get a checkup.
Yeah, we had to get a chest x-ray to make sure we didn't have pneumonia. And then we found out I had it.
Oh,
yeah.
So she had to stay away from the gorillas for...
Oh, the orangutans, I had to
Orangutans.
stay away from them for a while, and I found out I had it, and I was feeling a little bit sick, and I had no idea. And you know,
Was
when
it
you
just
go,
mild or
it was just
something?
mild,
Yeah.
and they could
Okay.
see it in my lungs. So yeah, I've had an X-ray in Indonesia.
in Java in a random hospital.
That's
yeah.
pretty good. 5 years of traveling and not
Well,
gone to hospital.
That's why I'm scared to say it.
Yeah,
Seriously, touch
wood.
on wood, because like when when it's not COVID and we travel,
Yeah.
so we sometimes have such a schedule that I'm like, if we break something, like a leg or an arm, what would that do?
It's because I've never broken a bone before.
Yeah, neither.
Stephen has a good story about
Yeah.
his broken bone. It's not yucky if anyone doesn't like yucky stories.
They've all left. There's one person left who just loves hearing you say boo boo.
You've been hanging around Hunter too much.
She has some really good poo-poo stories.
So when I was a kid, I just, I don't know. When think of me as a child, I always think of me as 7 years old. That's when all my stories, I feel like, happen.
Okay.
So it's me, 7 years old, and I got chicken pox and
Measles
at the exact same time, and it was such an infection on my left leg that it broke it.
That's crazy, hey?
I haven't heard this story. I'm your
you're
sister.
You would have been small.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you would have been like wow,
It was
wow.
during the time that you don't remember things.
I think that's my whole life.
If we have any doctors or nurses that listen,
Is that a thing?
How is that a thing? Because I had to have plaster of Paris on my leg. It was my right leg, sorry, not my left one. I had to have plaster of Paris on it. So imagine as
Please
parents,
clarify which leg. It is very important.
let me just right one. Lydia said, "What's the food you ate abroad and you will never eat again?" I think durian seems to come to mind.
Oh,
from
yeah, I
Malaysia.
didn't like durian. I didn't like we tried 1,000-year-old egg in China.
Oh, meatball
that.
sub.
See it meatball Subway in Puerto Rico.
That is a story we should say for another podcast. Why I had to eat that 1,000-year-old egg in China.
We actually
because
have
it was a
really
very-
funny food stories.
Yes, we should definitely put that down for another podcast. Charlene said, "Hey guys, I love traveling, but I have a huge problem, which is a shame for a traveler. I get seasick.
Oh, I get really bad
And I can
seasick.
hardly manage a bus or car trip without being sick. How do you
Oh.
guys have this kind of problems? I have zero problems.
You have zero problems?
Problems?
Yeah, same. I think it just runs in a family. You always have problems, don't you?
Yeah, I always have problems.
Yeah, problems.
Stop it. Stop it.
I know it's like I know some people that actually have it really bad, so I think I must have it a little bit more mild because I do know some
You
people.
have it pretty bad. I feel like if we're on a boat, you're at the front of the boat. If we're on a plane, sometimes... Oh.
Yeah, remember that one time I was throwing up on a plane from being sick, and you said it looked like I was having an exorcism.
I remember you say that.
And I was had a bag, and I was like,
But I think everything was shaking and like veins were coming and like she was
"Oh my gosh!"
losing the color in her already white face.
I think the way I get over it for me is that I don't have any fear of vomit. So if I feel sick, I just like let it happen because I feel so much better after.
Just let it go. Just
let it go,
Let it go.
But I do know like some people have it even worse, where I think for me I'm lucky. Once I throw up, I feel better. But I do get seasick all the time.
Yeah.
Like I should share. Seeing as we're talking about yucky stories.
Yeah.
We were shark cage diving
Oh no.
in South Africa.
Yeah.
This is with the great white sharks. You go into like a little cage, you go under the water and they swim past you.
Right. And that day it was so rocky and I was already feeling so sick on the boat, and then they called our group and I was like, okay, cool. So I was like, maybe I feel better
You're
in the
such
water.
a trooper. I can't say that enough. Like so
I just don't want to
inspirational.
miss out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then I go inside the cage, still feel so sick, and we're looking out for the sharks, and I'm like, oh my goodness, I'm just going to go. And I just throw up
When did
all
you throw
over
up?
the water while you were down under the water. And then he came back up out of the water through my vomit. It was amazing. And also there were other people in the cage I didn't even know swimming around my vomit. I felt so bad.
Your chum. You were getting the
Exactly.
sharks closer.
I got those people the most amazing experience because those sharks came right up, checking out it, and everyone got a really cool close-up of a shark.
Thanks, Jessica.
It's funny, like you forget these stories and then you just whip them out and just the memories come back.
Yeah.
I think that's all the stories, or is there one hidden away?
That's all I can think of. That's all people really want. I'm sure people are done with these horrible stories.
Let's read a couple of reviews.
Oh, imagine the reviews after this episode.
1 star. It honestly, as this podcast only 5 episodes in, really does help us out if you could go give it a rating on the iTunes podcast store, or if you're watching this on our YouTube channel, Stories from Flying the Nest, if you could just hit subscribe, like leave it a lovely comment, we'll read it out for you guys. So thank you so much. Just like, Carly Lynn too said, she said, love the YouTube videos and the new podcast. I had to get on here and tell you that the Disney ride your dad told you about, remember the Lilo and
Yes,
Stitch
I
one?
saw this.
Yeah.
Was actually used to be called Alien Encounter. I was there in the 90s when I was 6 and it was so scary.
Okay.
So, like, just...
Sorry, Des.
Yeah,
Sorry,
I'm
Desi.
sorry. We have to
We were here
apologise.
teasing him about being scared of
Yeah.
little Stitch, but he had an alien to encounter.
Yeah. quick recap. My parents left us, went to Disney World, went on this ride. My dad talked about it for 20 years. We went on it. He said it was the most scariest ride, but it was Lilo and Stitch. It
Little
turns
did we
out-
know
It wasn't.
it was Alien Encounter that had then been refurbished or redone into Lilo and Stitch.
Oh,
Yes.
that
Sorry,
sounds It's
Desi.
a bit too scary. We
It
need
sounds scary for Disney World. So,
Yeah.
sorry, Des. Sorry, Dad.
Des.
Beetle Innovation said, I first discovered Stephen and Jess on their Fly in the Nest YouTube channel when I was preparing for my first trip to Paris in 2016. Their videos are so fun to watch and are really, really well edited. Thank you. But the thing that sticks out the most is they're such genuinely nice, joyful, and authentic people. It's really a pleasure to watch and listen to this lovely couple. Thank you so much, Tim from Rhode Island.
Oh,
that's
thank you.
nice.
Seriously, you guys leave us the most beautiful comments and
do.
reviews. Like, I really, really appreciate it. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, thank you guys so much. But I'm thinking, should the next episode, seeing as it's going to be everything going into it going forward, should we do a whole episode on why we bought the van, like the ideas and the plans for the van, plus what we want to do with it in the future?
Ooh, like some sneak peek secret stuff?
Yeah, so we'll have a whole episode dedicated to the van because this is definitely going to be our summer project moving forward.
That's a good idea.
Going to do some little family vlogs in between there. Christmas is coming up. New Year's is coming up.
Yeah, if you have any questions about our van build and
All
things
that.
like that,
Head to flyinthenest.tv/podcast. But
and we can give you guys some sneak inspo little tips about what's going to be happening with the van that we won't be talking about on the YouTube channel yet.
yeah, because I think we love this little crew of you guys watching the videos. And also, for everyone that kind of tunes in for the premiere on YouTube, so much fun. If you didn't notice, because the audio comes out on a Tuesday, but we do a live premiere on our YouTube channel. So live premiere, if you've never watched one before, the whole video just plays and we watch it all together.
Like, it's on right now. So, hi, everyone.
Yeah.
In the premiere.
like a little family.
Yeah.
But thank you so much for listening and watching, everybody. That was episode 5.
All right, guys.
Are you going to push the little theme song button?
I know you all know the words. Let's all sing along.
Yes.
We'll see you guys next time.
Bye.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
A little podcast by Stephen and Jess.
Stories about flying the nest.
Little podcast by Stephen and Jess.
Stephen and Jess.
Stories.